Four Nights of the Apocalypse chapter 88 is out, and this was another really nice chapter. While the beginning and the ending portions of this chapter were the most eventful, in the middle portion just like setup and interactions between other characters, it is honestly a really nice and chill chapter, and this is gonna definitely confirming that this is the last chapter before we move on to the next arc, which means we're finally going to be leaving Leonis after nearly a year in one singular place. So I am really happy for that. Now before I get into the actual review, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. It really does help, and it shows that you guys enjoy the Four Nights content on the channel. And I am planning to do more Four Nights or 7 Deadly Sins related content in the future, along with some other miscellaneous videos, so look forward to that. But without further ado, let's hit that intro and get right into the review. So before I get into chapter 88, let's just go with a 2-page color spread where it shows all of the main characters in their new outfits and officially confirming some characters' actual color schemes. So turns out Jian had more of a purplish hair color, so that's perfectly fine. Isolde, actually, for some reason I thought she had blue hair, but it seems like she has more of a pinkish hair color, so that's nice. But yeah, we get to see everyone's new character designs, and for the most part, I like them. They're really nice. The only one I don't really like too much is Percival's, but then again, we haven't seen it with the cloak on. And I think my favorite out of these is probably Gawain's for obvious reasons that I'll get into at the end of the chapter. But next to that is probably Tristan's, because Tristan actually does look like a princely knight. I guess it fits his design and personality relatively well. Same with Naz at the end, it's not too much of a difference. But Ann's, I honestly really like, and hers does look like Diane's from the 7 Deadly Sins, so that's a pretty interesting way to go about things. It's mentioned in the chapter, but Lancelot is not changing out of his usual outfit, which I'm fine with. I like Lancelot's outfit. It looks really cool and makes a lot of sense. Plus, it was the only one that didn't really get any damage in the fight, so it makes a lot of sense. But let's move on to the chapter titled Departure. We start off directly from last week, where Guinevere is encountered by the shadowy individual, which is unfortunately not Bond, but it is revealed who it is. This person comes in front of her, apologizing, and asks if she is Guinevere, the princess of Cameliard, and that he's heard rumors of her powers to see the future. He states that he is a knight from a distant kingdom, and he must ask her to come and lend him her power. But she just tells him to stop being so indirect, as she literally reveals that this is in fact Ironside. And we get his official title as one of the 4 perils who serve Arthur, who serve Camelot, the Red Knight Ironside. And she just says, just make it clear that you came here to kidnap me. Okay, this is honestly kind of funny in terms of Guinevere's dialogue, but also, I guess this does confirm that Ironside did find Guinevere, and he was planning to kidnap her once everything settled down. So I like that, and Ironside being the one to take Guinevere away, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I think someone in the comments section over the last few weeks did guess that it was Ironside, I believe, but I was honestly kind of hoping that it was just Spawn waiting to just surprise his son, or someone related to Guinevere. But yeah, Ironside came to get Guinevere, but after being a little shocked, he then laughs, stating, "Splendid. So this is your kaleidoscope. But if so, then why?" He does ask a very important question, asking if you foresaw my arrival, surely you could have called for help or run away. But Guinevere just says, nothing would please me more, but if I defied fate, I'd have to pay an even higher price, which intrigues Ironside. This adds another layer to Guinevere's powers, because in the last chapter review I said probably one of the main goals of the series at the end is to defy fate and change the future. But perhaps that isn't all set in stone for where the story is going to go, because according to Guinevere, if this is to be taken purely seriously, then defying the fate that she's seen could lead to an even darker fate, which is why she has to let things play out. So this adds an extra layer of intrigue into her power, and for a potential Guinevere video that it might get done before the end of the year or sometime next year. So look forward to that. I do plan on talking about Guinevere. We then cut to Lancelot, who's rushing back to Guinevere's motel room, as he says, I just got a bad feeling about this. What if the hope we'll lose is actually, and then he hears Guinevere's thoughts. She basically just shouts it very loud since he can hear people's thoughts. And I like how Lancelot, being a smart guy he is, basically starts to piece things together. Begins to speak to Guinevere from what I assume is telepathy, basically asking if she's okay and what's going on. She says that she's fine, but tells him to just listen and not blame himself for this, because this was always fated to happen, stating that she's not scared as Ironside chants the password to enter Camelot, because she says, "I believe in you. One day in due time, you'll find me again." As she's being taken away, we see an image of her smiling, and Lancelot runs up the stairs, and as he gets there, Guinevere and Ironside have disappeared. So, Ironside successfully took Guinevere, and he used the chant to make it into Camelot, which means this could be in any location, and you could just teleport straight to Camelot. So that's a very interesting and cool ability. But yeah, Guinevere has been taken, and confirming that she is the hope that was going to be snatched away. So now Lancelot has another motivation to go to Camelot. We then cut to later that night as Percival comes in with everybody's clothes, and everyone's kind of excited to try on their new clothes. And the next page is a 2-page spread of everybody in their new outfits. And honestly, in action, I like them. Percival, again, I'm still not too crazy on because I haven't seen it with the cape and the helmet. I think it would look a lot better with the cape and helmet. I just need to wait and see. But I do like how there is the added detail that everyone has the Ouroboros emblem placed somewhere on their new clothes and armor, showing that they are, friends to the sign of their friendship, and also that they are in fact the Tristan platoon. So it's honestly a nice little detail that I kind of really like. As we then cut over to another 2-page spread showcasing the Tristan platoon and their new outfits. Tristan complimenting on them getting their new clothes, Isolde saying that On looks cute, and Chion being Chion. For the love of God, man, would you stop being sarcastic for once? It's not funny. And even Jade is getting sick and tired of this at this point. He's saying, like, can you just please tone down your sarcasm, man? Percival's all goofy and happy about everybody in their new clothes as well. And I like how, Donnie just says, I get a sense of unity from them. Like they feel like a team. And then On just glances over at Chion condescendingly, being like, feels like they have no personality except for Isolde, which is kind of hilarious. And I like how she just stares at Chion, which pisses him off. I really need someone to put Chion in his place. If On does it, I'd be happy. I would be very happy. Any one of these characters needs to put this guy in his place. But yeah, that basically, we eventually go on with, Lancelot, is he getting a new outfit? But Tristan just says, nah, he's not going to change into anything. He was the only one unharmed. And even brings up the interesting fact that Lancelot's clothes were made by the Fairy King himself, so it's very important to him. So, is he referring to King or Bon? Because Bon is kind of referred to as another fairy king due to the fact that Benwick also has a lot of fairies, which will get confusing. But if it's King, it makes a whole lot of sense, and it's possible that maybe King was also the one that made everyone else's new outfits, since King is very talented at making new clothes. And the fact that his uncle made it for him would make a lot of sense. So that is nice, gives some sentimentality to Lancelot not changing out of his usual outfits. We also get the piece of information that Tristan went to go look for Gawain, but she wasn't in her room. As we cut to the top of Leona's castle where Meliodas is having a drink of ale. As Gawain then teleports behind Meliodas, stating how he's just having a good time having a nighttime drink. As she kind of grits her teeth, saying, even though tomorrow you'll be sending your own son in a life-threatening journey to determine the fate of the world, I can't help but pity Prince Tristan. But Meliodas just goes over to Gawain and was saying that he was hoping to speak with her. So it does show that she does kind of pity Tristan to an extent, or has like some kind of problem with Meliodas. I think maybe to an extent. I still need to get more for Gawain's character in terms of her motivations and everything. But the next page is just full on just Gawain in her new outfit. And if we go from the color spread with the colors and the theming, this is pointed out when this was like leaked earlier this week. But Gawain, for one, looks like the literal spitting image of Merlin with the coat, but also Escanor, because this is basically the same outfit Escanor wore during the Holy War arc of the 7 Deadly Sins. Like same color, same sun belt emblem on the pants, and I believe the same kind of boots as well, with the same fur. It's literally just Nakba just being incredibly blunt, saying like, yeah, she's the new wielder of sunshine, deal with it, and she is basically the spinning image of Merlin. But yeah, no one can deny that Gawain is the spinning image of Merlin, and now Escanor with just, it fits now. It really does fit with the whole character design and everything. Plus, she just looks really cool in this. And I think Meliodas notices this as well, as he does kind of have a shocked expression on his face, saying that this is a surprise. So yeah, I think Meliodas kind of figures not only does she have Sunshine, the ability of one of his best friends, but also just looks exactly like Merlin. So it's literally like he's seeing two of his precious friends in one person at once, especially since one of them died over 16 years ago. So yeah, that's honestly a pretty interesting detail. Meliodas does kind of have more info on Gawain than we do, obviously. He does kind of know a few things about her that he's not letting slip. But I like how Gawain is really just being like, I'm the one that's just surprised here. What kind of fashion sense is this? As she demands to see the person that made this outfit for her. Which is a kind of normal person reaction to her outfit. I kind of like it. Thank you for acting normal with the outfit that you have been given. I think anybody would basically react the same way if their new clothes were literally just pants and a jacket. But Meliodas kind of laughs it off, basically saying that the one that made it is not here right now. But he states that the clothes will stretch to fit her size, similarly to Escanor's. Again, Escanor parallels are insane. I need to make that Gawain video at some point. He also goes on to say that it's top quality stuff that's been magically processed, so it can withstand magic power, so it won't burn away or be destroyed by her own power to varying degrees, depending on how strong the magical attack would end up being. Which, Gawain is like, huh, alright, I don't like the fashion sense, but obviously the person is skilled at just making clothes in general. Meliodas then asks if there's anything she'd like to ask, as she then jumps up into the sky, once more looking like Merlin in this instance, as she states, "Do you believe I would seriously help you lot? Do you believe I would fight King Arthur as a knight of prophecy? You did your homework on me, right? You know I'm the daughter of Arthur's brother-in-law. You see, I have nothing to gain as your ally, and absolutely no reason to become one," as she gives us a very sinister looking face, which there are people in the community that do think that perhaps Gawain is either not the fourth knight of prophecy and is really just going to betray anybody, but I don't think that's the case at this point. I don't think a whole fake fourth knight would do well at this point in the story, because we got the whole prophecy and everything seems to have come true at this point. So no, Gawain betraying everyone, it's a possibility, but I'm still not looking into it, because based on her reaction from Arthur showing up, there's obviously something else going on in her life that is making her just here coming to Leonis to fight as a knight of prophecy. But yeah, Meliodas just laughs to what Gawain is saying, and yet here you are. Do you have something on your mind? As she kind of says, fine, for now, I'll just act as knight of prophecy, but I will make no guarantee, understood? I may even betray you. Which Meliodas smiles at, saying, well, as she just calls him a shrewd man, as she starts to descend down from the sky. Meliodas asks if she wants to eat something, but she refuses, until Meliodas kind of bribes her with pudding, which is her kryptonite. And she then just gets a whole 180 in whole tone and personality, just saying like, why didn't you say that before? Pudding's a different story. Meliodas then says, oh yeah, I heard you did like pudding, as she then says, like is just putting it far too mildly. I live for pudding, it's no exaggeration. So this is going to be a fun character trait for her, because I would like the whole pudding gag. It does seem kind of funny, since she is still a kid. And we then see a giant barrel of pudding made for Gawain, as we literally just get a panel of her just literally drooling over this giant barrel of pudding, which, if I remember correctly, in the fight against the revived commandments, she literally stated that she wants like a giant barrel of pudding as a reward. So this is Meliodas' way of doing so. But then Meliodas calls it the Meliodas Special, and I think we all know where this is going. Gawain jumps over, sticks a spoon into the barrel of pudding, takes a bite, as she then realizes how horrendous it is. Ending the chapter with a narration stating, the next day, Gawain came down with unexplained fever, inflammation, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, and visual/auditory hallucinations, and the 4 nights' departure was postponed for an entire day. The final panel is literally just a Percival golem just giving off a salute with the chapter ending. So yeah, that was honestly kind of funny. The next chapter is titled The 4 Nights Get Started. Plus, I kind of like the whole joke at the end where Meliodas, despite becoming a king of a country, can't cook for shit. So, I literally feel like everyone's gonna have to try Meliodas' cooking at some point just to get that shitty cooking gag, going again. Which I think is honestly, I think, Meliodas' best gags, if I have to be honest, because you're like, oh man, he can make food look so good, but it it just tastes so goddamn bad. I love that. That is literally the one running joke from Meliodas that I think is my favorite. But yeah, I just find it a very funny way to end off the chapter. But yeah, overall, this was a nice chapter. Another relatively chill one, except for the beginning. But I like the setup of Ironside basically being one of Arthur's elite knights, one of the 4 perils, so I can't wait to see what all of that is about and who the other members are. I honestly believe that Jericho and perhaps Pelgard are the other 2 members, and the 4th one is still unknown. And I just like how we got some more insight, even though it was just a little bit, into Guinevere's ability on just viewing the future, and Defying Fate might actually just, you know, make things worse. Everyone's new outfits are honestly great. I need to see... I really do need to see Percival in a cape and his helmet just to see how nice they look. Gawain's is honestly one of my favorites due to the fact that it's still just a callback to Escanor's whole outfit in the Holy War arc, and that she now 100% looks like the spinning image of Merlin, so it feeds a lot into the whole Gawain was created with Merlin and Escanor essences mashed together or something. And I like how Meliodas just wanted to just talk to Gawain, and Gawain just begrudgingly agrees to be a Knight of Prophecy, and there's definitely some more stuff to go dive into it with that will most likely be revealed later down the road. And just the ending gag of Gawain just wanting to eat a shit ton of pudding and then getting incredibly sick after eating Meliodas' one. Overall, I really enjoyed the chapter, and I cannot wait for the next one. We do have a break for next week, so I'll probably have a video out by then, I hope, to replace the chapter review, as we are getting breaks for this chapter, and the final chapter, chapter 89, will come out in 2 weeks. So, look forward to that. And then it'll be the last chapter of the year. But with all that said and done, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Once more, like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. It really does help, and it shows you guys do enjoy the content I make on this channel and shows that you want to see more. Also, comment down below your thoughts and opinions of the chapter itself and theories for what could happen in the future. And I hope you all have an awesome day.